The one thing I haven't done is falsely accuse Papa Gut of being a pedophile.
Whoa, but dude, how are you going to use the most pedophile-looking picture of me when you f***ing say that, dude? I began to consume more conservative media, listening to voices like Ben Shapiro, Rush Limbaugh. How are you going to be 40 years old and making massive political and ideological shift?
Trump has gone bankrupt so many times, it's why Def Noodles thinks that he can support working class people, because Trump knows what it feels like to lose a ton of money.
Bill whines that billionaires are dividing everybody. Really? The guy literally calling for mass extermination is worried about division? That's like Jeffrey Dahmer complaining about a bad dinner party.
That's like Def Noodles complaining about a bad comedy show.
He's actually killing him. All right, guys. I forgot that Ryan Beard told me he was making a Def Noodles video. And I am shitting in my pants right now. And I am very excited. This is called Disgraced Drama YouTuber Returns as MAGA Grifter from Ryan Beard. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Let's get I love the smile, Ryan. I love the smile. Let's go.
Hey, really quickly, I just want to mention that I have recently...
My name's really quickly, by the way. That's why he's addressing me specifically.
...revamped my Patreon.
Wow.
I haven't really used Patreon in the last couple years, but I realized that if I want to be able to have...
Yeah, I closed mine down. I had nothing on there to offer. Nobody wanted to see my balls.
The financial freedom to take on bigger or riskier artistic projects, it would be
True.
really good to ask for support on there. I wanted to make sure that by supporting me on Patreon, you're really benefiting from it. I know it's annoying when people ask you to support their Patreon and then you don't really get anything out of it.
Ryan, stop it, dude. You're making fun of me right now. It's not nice, but yeah, it's so true.
So I'm going to be releasing exclusive monthly videos on my Patreon and for the members on this channel. So consider supporting the Patreon or becoming a member of the channel if you want to see exclusive, unfiltered videos from me, or if you want to have your name listed at the end of my videos. Supporting me and being able to have the financial freedom to take...
Maybe I should do that later. Maybe I'll do that later. Remind me later.
...on more risky artistic endeavors really means the world to me. Thank you so much. Has this ever happened to you? You're a moderately successful drama YouTuber who wants to start a comedy career, but your YouTube drama career ends up crashing and burning because you falsely accuse another YouTuber of being a pedophile.
Hey, listen. You don't know if it was false. I'm just kidding. Bro, I look back at this moment
You say
all the time, and I just feel so fucking... I wish I didn't get so worked up over it, honestly. But I got so fucking worked up over that shit, dude. You know, it was because back in the... You guys know, I had like that really edgy joke I made. She's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. And I was like, thank you very much, Andres Lopez, because at the time he allegedly slept with a kid. And I was so like fucking like almost like PTSD brain. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get canceled again. You know? So I wish I didn't get so upset. But hey, you know what? How many... It's out... Life's life. Life is just life, bro. Life is just fucking life.
that you think Sneeko shouldn't be banned from YouTube even after he sexually harassed a woman, and then you lose a debate about trans people to the conservative TikToker Christian Walker.
Sounds like Hassan Parker. What?
And then your comedy career crashes and burns because Moist Critical reacts to your absolutely terrible comedy roast.
And then he takes it so poorly, he spirals.
Which ends up getting 4 million views. So now you've failed at both YouTube drama and comedy, and now you're the laughingstock of pretty much the entire internet. If all of those things have happened to you...
It's so funny because like a lot of what happened is just like his attitude with the stuff. Like if he had a better attitude with what was going on, he would have been fine. But he couldn't. He has like such a fucking massive ego problem. That's why he says that he's that's why he was saying that he was actually like a different age. Like he's actually like fucking 10 years older than he was telling people that he was on social media.
Then you are probably Def Noodles. And you know what? I can relate to Def Noodles. I have also failed at comedy before.
Then type your number out on the screen and put it up in the air.
Fuck.
I've also lost a debate before, and I'm sure I've also had some dumb...
Yeah, but he got his revenge on that debate. Because it was Vince's destiny. And then he was able to drop that fucking destructive hit piece on him. Full of truths, by the way. Because Destiny fucked himself over.
...takes at some point in my life. But the one thing I haven't done is falsely accuse Papa Gut of being a pedophile.
Whoa, but dude, how are you going to use the most pedophile-looking picture of me when you fucking say that, dude? Come on, bro. Stop using this picture here. Stop using this fucking picture of me, dude. That's the most pedophile picture that I ever have, dude. Stop it. Who took that picture? Take this picture instead. Use this from now on. You like that, kids? No. Maybe Dennis was right. I'm just- That's fucking crazy, dude. That's crazy as hell. Okay.
I have only accurately accused Papa Gut of being a pedophile.
Wait, what?
That is a joke. Papa
I know that is. There we go. See, I don't look like a pedophile here.
Gut is not a pedophile.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much, Ryan. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me on the internet. Let me tell you.
As far as I know.
Okay, fuck off. What the fuck? That's fucking crazy. that entire thing was crazy. What the fuck?
The truth is, everyone makes mistakes in
That's
life.
true. Except
Everyone
for
has
me.
failures. Things
me.
don't always turn out the way that you want them to. And I think that when you do fail in life, the best thing to do is take a step
And
back.
the best thing to do is just start grifting for the right, actually, because they'll accept anybody. You know, let me just tell you, I'm not one, but if I was a pedophile, I would totally be conservative because they are so chill with that shit. They are so accepting. That's actually fucking. Oh, I'm dead. Fuck my balls.
Self-reflect, learn from your mistakes, and then return as a better person. Or you could say, fuck that, and return to YouTube as a right-wing MAGA grifter who makes absolutely dog shit videos that only get a couple hundred views.
Damn. You know, I use, generally speaking, going after the view count is like blow, but sometimes you just gotta blow it low. You know what I mean, dude?
This is what Def Noodles used to look like. Look at how cute and non-threatening he looks with his little cat ears and his little fake glasses. Well, this is what Def Noodles looks like now.
Oh, a red background alert.
He's not soy boy Def Noodles anymore. Now he's alpha MAGA Def Noodles. He's got the MAGA hat.
He still does like the fake accent though.
And the red lighting and the American flag behind him and the eagle below him. He has abandoned his kitty cat ways and has accepted the path of the eagle. I guess if I ever want to become a right-wing grifter, I just need to change the color of the light behind me. Soy boy Ryan, MAGA Ryan.
Wow.
Soy boy Ryan, MAGA Ryan.
Ryan, you got to get a better light, bud. That light looks, it doesn't look lighting enough. Jesus.
I know a minute ago I called Def Noodles a right-wing grifter, but I feel like being a grifter kind of implies that you're making money from what you're doing.
Jesus Christ, right. You're murdering him.
And right now his videos are only getting a couple hundred views each, so I would say that he's probably not even making enough money to be considered a grifter right now.
That's
I also
crazy.
think being a grifter implies that what you're doing isn't actually genuine, and I can't see inside of Def Noodle's noodle to know if what he's doing is genuine or not. But it does seem a bit suspicious to me that Def Noodles has gone from someone who preaches progressive values and has debates where he's defending trans people to being full on MAGA in just a couple years. I would say that I was kind of like a moderate conservative when I was like 14, but then over the
Well, everybody has their evolutions, you know?
course of about 10 years, I became a leftist. But it was a very gradual progression. You just don't usually see someone making this drastic of a change this quickly. In the first video that he posted on this updated MAGA channel, he says that he's been secretly watching right-wing creators like Ben Shapiro for years now, but he was scared to tell anyone because he didn't want to get canceled.
Quiet.
Wait, he actually says that? I've been watching Ben Shapiro too. I've even publicly said, as like a leftist, I think he's one of the smarter more honest guys, even when he's guzzling Tate cum. I'm not fucking right leaning. I can generally respect it. I mean, I appreciate the family values. He has like a family and a kid and a wife, and he loves his wife. I think that's cool. But
Lately, I began to consume more conservative media, listening to voices like Ben Shapiro, Rush Limbaugh, but I kept it to myself. Living in Los Angeles,
you're 40 years old. You're like 40 years old, bro. Like, you're 40 years old. How are you going to be 40 years old and make a massive, massive political and ideological shift at 40? 40. You're 40. You can't shift from far left to far right on a fucking dime. Nobody does that unless something's wrong with them. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. It's okay, like, okay, you're 20 years old and, you know, you're going through your political thing, you're figuring yourself out. You're 40, bro. Knock it off. It's fucking crazy.
I feared being outed as someone who leaned conservative.
We got the victim complex. Guys, I didn't want to tell anybody because I'm the true victim.
It felt like a career killer for anyone in the acting or writing industry.
Oh,
Friends
God.
who noticed warned me that my
You know what else is a career killer for people in like the acting and writing industry and the comedy industry? Not being funny or good or talented. That's probably hurtful
career
too.
could be over if the word got out.
So I guess rather than calling him a right-wing grifter now, it might be more accurate to say that he used to be a left-wing grifter, but now he's finally being true to his MAGA self. So I would like to congratulate Def Noodles for finally coming out of the closet as a dumbass. But you know what? We don't want to approach Def Noodles in bad faith. Maybe he is giving some really insightful commentary in this new MAGA persona. Let's check out one of his videos to find out. For whatever reason, Def Noodles seems to like to focus on certain celebrities and then make a bunch of videos about them. For example, he's made 10 different videos about Whoopi Goldberg.
Why Whoopi Goldberg of all the fucking people? Bro, let me just say something. What was the award show that Def Noodles was on? Wouldn't it be fucking crazy? Was it the Steamies? Was that what it was? Wouldn't it be crazy if somebody named Papa Gut showed up the next time that award show was going on and was the co-host, except instead of this hat, he was wearing a different hat? Maybe he could at least win an award for best hat. You know what? This is my demand. Send me a hat, and then you must give me an award for best hat. That's it. I will accept nothing less than that.
I don't think I've ever met someone who cares enough about Whoopi Goldberg to make 10 different videos about her. To me, she just seems like your typical rich, out-of-touch liberal. But she seems to really upset Def Noodles for whatever reason. But what I want to...
Maybe it's because she's black. I don't know. Or maybe... what the real reason is because like he feels like she's just like an easy target to talk about.
To focus on in this video is that Def Noodles has made 7 different videos coming after the comedian Bill Burr, claiming that Bill Burr... Why? Because he had some pretty good, insightful commentary? Has gone woke. I've always considered myself...
Bill Burr's never gone woke. He's just not a fucking moron. And he understands that, like, this shit's fucking out of control.
A pretty big fan of Bill Burr. I've always enjoyed his comedy, but I would definitely not consider him like super left-wing or anything. He always takes shots at people on both sides of the political aisle. He even recently made fun of white people on the left for caring so much about pronouns.
You know what's funny is white liberals are the ones that gave the definition of woke to whites on the right. So they don't, no white people really understand, it seems, what that word really meant when they took it from black people. So people on the right just think it means an insufferable, self-involved liberal douche. And they're not wrong if they're talking about a white person. Right. Running around crying about their pronouns.
Well, this is the thing. When you are somebody that's like more, not even say moderate, but you're going to appear, if you stick to your core values, when things shift more conservatively, you're going to see more liberal, and when things shift more liberally, you're going to be seen more as more conservative. And I think that that's like one of the things that happened to me. I have obviously, oh fuck, my mother's balls.
It's like the sun is like lighting the planet on fire.
I would consider myself a bit of a pronoun enjoyer. I'd say I'd put pronouns right above adverbs.
Yo, here's my thing with pronouns. I don't give a fuck. I have better things going on in my life to worry about than fucking pronouns. Like, of all the things, if I actually had a problem with trans people, which I don't, why pronouns? That's such the stupidest fucking thing in the entire world. It's lazy. If I see you complaining about pronouns, I will never respect you. Your life is too easy. That's the way that I look at it. Your life is so very easy that you've decided to complain about the pronoun, they and thems. That's pathetic. You have nothing going on in the world. Housing is very expensive. Healthcare is very expensive. Egg prices are very expensive. Groceries are expensive. Everything is expensive. And you're going to worry about fucking pronouns? That means that you are a loser and you have nothing going on in your fucking life to actually focus on. That's problematic other than fucking pronouns. That's it. That is it. It's like walking around and telling everybody in the entire world that you cut your pinky toe a little too short, the pinky toenail a little too short. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, wow, crazy. What the fuck?
on my favorite types of words tier list. I actually don't think that trans people usually freak out about pronouns as much as people claim they do. In general, a trans person isn't gonna get upset with you unless you're purposefully using the wrong pronouns. So I might like slightly disagree with Bill Burr on his take here, but I'm not gonna freak out about it and make 7 different videos criticizing him. And
He goes woke.
I do think he brings up a good point that white people love to steal terms from black people like woke and then make them incredibly lame. This might be a bit of
well, maybe we wouldn't steal them if they were shoes.
a hot take, but my absolute least favorite form of white people comedy is when white people put on a black accent and try to mimic a black woman and then expect everyone to clap and laugh. Girl, when the child is T but the sis is
I thought we were gonna see Deaf Noodles doing that or something. I was like ready to be like, wow, what the fuck? That's crazy.
finna bust it down. Stop. You are not funny. Anyway, I might disagree with Bill Burr on some of his opinions, but I'm not going to make like 7 different videos criticizing him because in general, I think we should be a bit more lenient with comedians than we would be with like political commentators.
Well, I also think that he's an honest guy that's just like trying to be honest, you know? Like, I don't think that there's anything necessarily like dishonest about Bill Burr. He's an honest person. He's not grifting. He's not like, he doesn't hate people. Maybe some of his comedy can be insensitive, I guess, sometimes, if that's what claim you want to make. But he's just like a chill guy. That's it. Like, he's being honest about his shit.
For example, because a lot of times jokes aren't meant to be taken super literally in the same way that like a political speech would. But because Bill Burr has recently started leaning slightly more left and he started making fun of billionaires more in his comedy, Deaf Noodles has decided to make 7 different videos accusing him of going woke. Now, my first instinct when I saw this is that Mr. Noodles here might be a little bit jealous of Bill Burr because when Deaf Noodles...
Well, you know what it is, though? What? You know what it is, though, is that Dennis went to school. He went to comedy school with Vince Vaughn, so it's something to keep in mind.
Tried to do left-leaning comedy. He crashed and burned and became the laughingstock of the internet. But
True.
when Bill Burr makes left-leaning jokes in his comedy, people actually find it funny.
Yeah,
so
because they're relatable.
Dennis, instead of making all of these videos attacking Bill Burr, maybe it would be better to just try and take a step back and write some better jokes.
Welcome, folks. Today we're witnessing another Hollywood millionaire pretend to be a working class hero, Bill Burr, who caught everyone's attention this week after a bizarre meltdown on his podcast about billionaires, capitalism, and for some reason, the Gulf of America. Because nothing says man of the people like ranting about wealth inequality while sitting on a pile of cash from that little multi-billion-dollar company, you know, Netflix.
Yeah. So just to be clear, I would say that most people, even liberals, don't really have a problem with millionaires per se, or billionaires, yes. They have a problem with how they acquire the wealth. So if you're a millionaire and you're a CEO of a healthcare company, you're killing people for money. That's how it is. Okay, the more money you make, the more expensive healthcare is, and the more of a burden it is on people that cannot afford it. And you're killing people. So that is a fact. I don't really care if you want to spin it in a different way. Oh, actually, shut up. You're a cuck if you disagree with me. I don't give a fuck. I don't respect you. Right? So there are some industries where if you're a millionaire, you're killing people. Bill Burr made a bunch of money being a comedian. Now, that being said, I think that we should definitely increase the amount of money people pay in taxes. Add that 90% tax rate. Oh, you want me to pay 90% of my check? I'm poor. I make $40,000 a year, and I'm so worried about the rich. You're going to take 90% of my check? We have a marginal tax system. I told this to an older person the other day. I was like, you realize we have a marginal tax rate? And they're like, what is that? And I had to explain to them what marginal tax rates. You don't that's how all of our taxes work. Like your first 10,000 is taxed at 10%, then your next 10,000 is taxed at like 12%. This isn't one for one. You could look up the actual tax rate, but this is how these things work. A 90% tax rate wouldn't be on income, would be on income that's like $500,000 and over, or $1 million and over. So it would incentivize you to pay your workers more and pay yourself less because you're still going to go to taxes anyway. Or if it goes to taxes, we use that money to pay for other programs for people. But to sit here and, this guy's not relatable at all. Shut the fuck up. Enough. The hell are you talking about? This guy's a poopy wiener head. Also, Gulf of America? You fucking gulp my American balls in your mouth. That's insane. What the fuck? I don't know what I pressed, but what the fuck is Shimmer and Shine theme? What the? All right.
Millionaire pretend to be a working
Well, I don't even know what happened there. What is this?
class hero Bill Burr, who caught everyone's attention this week after a bizarre meltdown on his podcast about billionaires, capitalism, and for some reason, the Gulf of America. Because nothing says man of the people like ranting about wealth inequality while sitting on a pile of cash from that little multi-billion-dollar company, you know, Netflix. Very working class, I'm sure.
So we're already off to a great start here. According to Def Noodles, Bill Burr can't possibly support working class people because he's made millions of dollars. Yet apparently Def Noodles thinks that Donald Trump can support working class people even though he's made billions of dollars. Maybe the fact
but all that was from Russia, so it wasn't even from us.
that Trump has gone bankrupt so many times is why Def Noodles thinks that he can support working class people, because
This is so, dude. He's actually killing him. What the fuck?
Trump knows what it feels like to lose a shit ton of money. So right
Jesus Christ.
off the bat, this is an incredibly stupid argument. Obviously, rich people are less likely to support working class people, but being rich doesn't automatically disqualify you from supporting working class people, which you would think Def Noodles agrees with as a Trump supporter.
This is so, the amount of people that are struggling out there because of these fucking billionaires, and they got us all arguing liberal and conservative. We got to stop doing that. Like, I am so tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much fucking
That's true. Shit's pretty fucking crazy.
money in this country, and there's so much work being done, you know, and if you work a full fucking week at a job, you should be able to pay your fucking rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get another fucking job and still be struggling. It's bad for the country because then the kids don't.
Bro, hot take. You should actually. Oh, I'm gonna die. You should actually be able to work two jobs and just like I remember working two jobs and you still don't have enough money to support your shit. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy.
See their parents and they're not getting the upbringing that they need. It's so fucking these fucking billionaires. They need to be put down. You know, like fucking rabid dogs.
Oh, there
They're
it
like
is.
rabid with fucking
What are you doing? What the fuck?
greed and just going out and just dividing everybody.
Oh, look. Big old Billy Burr is back at it again.
He wrote that in there. Big old Billy Burr. He liked that. He thought that was like really clever because there's a bunch of B's in there.
This time auditioning for a job at the Communist Manifesto Live. He's foaming at the mouth about billionaires like a guy who just discovered Reddit's late-stage capitalism page.
These are jokes, by the way. This is a joke to him. Just to be clear, like that's the caliber of a joke to him. I just want you guys to understand how this works.
Oh no, because Bill Burr thinks that working class people should be able to support their families while working a full-time job, he must be a communist. In the past in America,
What a normal take, bro. Just like
when people could afford to buy a house and live comfortably off of working one full-time job, America must have
true. Now we can't even do that. Now these women are fucking working. We still can't afford shit. The fuck?
actually been a communist country. It turns out the Soviet Union actually won the Cold War and made everyone communist, and we just never knew about it.
True. This is actually a fact.
So I highly doubt that Bill Burr is actually a communist. He probably just thinks that we should properly tax billionaires, not that we should have a stateless, classless, moneyless society. But let's see if Def Noodles has an actual argument other than Red Scare bullshit.
Screaming about wealth inequality from the comfort of his multi-million-dollar mansion. You know, the real man of the people energy. But let's break this down because, as always, when Hollywood millionaires try to play economic experts, it's like watching a goldfish try to do calculus.
It's like watching goldfish try to do calculus. This is like a joke straight out of the 1950s.
Bro, Rye's just bullying him. He's just making fun of his voice. I love it.
Trying to get my damn wife.
Sometimes you kind of have to. Like, it's not, bullying isn't okay, but sometimes it's, you know what I mean? Sometimes when it comes to like MAGA shit, sometimes you kind of have to go in that direction. Because like that's what they do usually all the time. So it's one of the fuck my balls.
To remember to do the dishes is like trying to get a goldfish to do calculus.
But that's what a lot of it's boiled down to for conservatives. Like they'll just like bully trans people and they'll be like, ah, like we're doing it, dude. Fuck.
Dennis, you have already proven just how much funnier you are than Bill Burr. Again, he says that Bill Burr can't possibly be a man of the people because he lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion while simultaneously supporting Trump, who literally coated his entire apartment in gold. You're gonna need to start thinking through the implications of your arguments a bit better here, Dennis.
First, we get the classic poor people suffer because billionaires exist argument. Love that one.
Yes. I don't understand. It's so funny because I learned, my mommy taught me something. What she taught me was money doesn't grow on trees. You ever heard of that before? I don't know. A lot of people apparently haven't heard these really simple things. And you think it's so juvenile. You know, money doesn't grow on trees. You know what that means? It means there's only so much money in the world. And that means that some people have more money, other people have less money. Okay? That's it. It's as simple as that. We have massive technologies that are making it easier and easier for billionaires to collect money and do less work. They're able to fire people, and they're able to collect that money and hoard it and do nothing with it. Okay? That's it. Billionaires are bad. That's it. I mean, it's not even a hot take. It's just the way it is.
It's like blaming bodybuilders for why you're out of shape. Oh, look at all those muscles they've hoarded. No wonder I can't run a mile.
Dennis, this has to be the stupidest analogy I've ever heard in my entire life. Bodybuilders don't actively work to keep fat people fat in the same way that billionaires work to keep poor people poor. Billionaires choose to pay their workers like shit, which is why they're poor. Bodybuilders don't choose to keep fat people fat. If there was a bodybuilder that was running around force-feeding fat people to keep them fat, then yeah, I would say he's a piece of shit in the same way that billionaires are.
Bill rants about people working full-time and still struggling to pay rent, which, yeah, sucks. But maybe, just maybe, the real villain isn't the guy running a business, but the government policy strangling the economy like a depressed anaconda.
Like which one specifically? Because there is a conversation to have about government policies doing that sometimes. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that's all the problem. You can't just blame everything on that. The government policies that are causing these problems are the government. That's really the government not doing anything to stop it more than anything else. I mean, you vote for your fucking taxpayer dollars to go to the government entities, and then what the fuck do they do for you? Well, they don't collect taxes in the right way. They don't advocate for lower housing costs. They don't implement what needs to be implemented to stop fucking like billionaires from buying up houses, so that like we cannot get fucking houses. Like, that's what they do.
Oh, the problem isn't billionaires. The problem is that there are too many regulations on businesses. If we just let businesses do whatever the fuck they want to do, then they'll finally pay their workers fairly. The data definitely shows that trickle-down economics has worked out great for Americans ever since Reagan wasn't.
But people need to understand that, like, if you to fix the actual problem, we are going to have to expand our welfare system. Like, you're going to have to get comfortable with this idea that we're going to have to expand the fuck out of the welfare system. If you want to see any like actual quality of life coming back. Technology is taking away jobs. Oh, some jobs are created. Great. That's fantastic. Okay, cool stuff. We're taking away jobs with technology. It makes things cheaper. That's cool, but we're taking away jobs. We're going to have robust welfare programs in order to offset that. It's just a fact. Sorry.
In office. Removing all government regulations on businesses is just going to make the problem worse, not better. If America is the richest country on earth, I don't think it's crazy to say that we should tax billionaires enough so that working class people can afford to buy a house or afford health care.
Then we get hit with the Marxist death wish portion of the rant, where Bill casually suggests billionaires should be put down like rabid dogs. Oh, yes. The
What happened? I thought it was all jokes, Dennis.
Rational, level-headed take of a totally sane person like Hassan Parker. Imagine if...
Oh, my God. Bro, this is like fucking like weird anti-Hassan perspective. What a fucking clown. Like, I don't like Hassan either, but I can explain to you why. He's just going to say communism bad. All the criticisms that he comes up with for why he doesn't like Hassan are literally just like, he says we should have like socialism or something stupid. That's it.
If Elon Musk went on a podcast and said, you know who needs to be put down like a rabid dog? Broke people. There'd be congressional...
Well, I mean, he thinks Jews should be put down like rabid dogs. He was supporting the Nazi party in Germany, the AfD party. So, I mean, okay, cool stuff.
Hearings before he finished his sentence. But when a millionaire Hollywood comedian suggests we exterminate successful people...
I love how Elon Musk, we don't talk about... there's no adjective to describe how much money he has. But when it comes to Bill Burr, he's a millionaire. But Donald Trump... Donald Trump, he's just a guy. Elon Musk, he's just a guy. He's not a millionaire. He's just a guy. That's it. What the fuck?
It's just good old working class rage. Weird how that works.
Okay, so your perspective is that Elon Musk saying we should kill poor people would be the same as Bill Burr saying we should kill billionaires.
And also, he is saying we should kill poor people by trying to get rid of Social Security for people. What are you talking about? That's like, what are you talking? Like that will kill fucking poor old people.
The difference is that poor people are not fucking over billionaires in the same way that billionaires fuck over poor people. Also, there's a bit of a difference between Elon Musk and Bill Burr. One of them is currently an advisor to the government, and the other one is a comedian. I agree with you, Dennis, that murder is bad. I think we should properly tax billionaires, not just go around slaughtering all of them. But a comedian making an edgy joke is not the same as someone in the government saying that we should exterminate poor people. It's just so funny to me that the same people who have been claiming for years that the left is trying to kill comedy are now trying to kill comedy when the target of a comedian's edgy jokes is billionaires. I wish George Carlin were still alive so Deaf Noodles could make some videos about how he's also gone woke.
These fucking billionaires, they need to be put down, you know, like fucking rabid dogs. They're like rabid with fucking greed and just going out and just dividing everybody.
But here's my favorite part. Bill whines that billionaires are dividing everybody. Really? The guy
Yeah.
literally calling for mass extermination is worried about division? That's like Jeffrey Dahmer complaining about a
Well, I mean, there shouldn't be that many billionaires anyway, so it wouldn't really be mass extermination.
bad dinner party.
That's like Jeffrey Dahmer complaining about a bad dinner party. That's like Jim Jones complaining about a bad batch of Kool-Aid. That's like Deaf Noodles complaining about a bad comedy show.
That's fucking funny. Holy shit.
I love these 1950s style zingers. Please keep making them, Dennis. So your argument is that comedians making edgy jokes about billionaires is what really divides people, not the billionaires themselves pumping billions of dollars into the media to keep people arguing about culture war bullshit.
Yeah, true, like fucking pronouns.
Billionaires treat the working class like shit, but then once people get mad at billionaires for treating the working class like shit, they're the ones who are actually causing the division.
Actually so based and true, Ryan. I knew that you knew. I knew you got it.
If we truly want unity in America, then the
We all just need to shut the fuck up and bow to billionaires, dude.
working class should all come together and collectively suck Jeff Bezos's cock. Maybe I agree with Dennis that Bill Burr's joke was slightly too edgy. Now I hope Dennis will also go and criticize every right.
I'm personally not too worried about it. I'm gonna be fucking real with you. You know, I've been having some interesting thoughts myself.
Wing comedian who makes edgy jokes so that he can be morally consistent.
And let's not ignore the irony here. Bill is worth millions. He's one real estate deal away from being the guy he's telling you to hate. I guarantee you, if Netflix cut him $1 billion check tomorrow, the only thing he'd be putting down is his activist face. At the end of the day, this is just another Hollywood millionaire LARPing as a Che Guevara.
This is somebody, this is a millionaire that people really resonated with because he would say truthful shit. That's the reason why he makes so much money, is because he's a fucking comedian that people think is funny and like relatable.
Revolutionary. He's not mad at billionaires. He's mad he's not one. So, Bill, if you really
he's
want
just
to
jealous.
redistribute...
He's just jealous, dude. He's just jealous. He can't be like, hey, this is really fucked up. He just has to be jealous. He's not a billionaire.
Wealth, go ahead. Sell your mansion, drain your
God.
bank account, and live like the actual working class. Oh, wait. That's right. You won't. Because ranting about billionaires is way easier than actually living without all that money.
If you truly believe that working class people deserve a livable wage for working a full-time job, then you should be poor. I am very smart. So Dennis here is making an obvious straw man. Bill Burr does not believe that billionaires should redistribute all of their wealth.
Well, I think that Dennis feels really good right now, even though he's getting absolutely no views. But you don't have to be intelligent to be MAGA. Like, that's the thing. You don't have to be intelligent. You don't have to care. They accept like fucking pedophiles inside of their audience. Like, I'm not calling him a pedophile, but there's no expectations. There's no standard. You don't have to be a decent, reasonable, intelligent person to right-wing grift. And I think for the first time, he's excited about that. Like, it's really exciting for him to do that. It's fucking incredible. That's what he likes about it.
He just thinks that they should give away enough of their wealth so that working class people can live comfortably. And if these billionaires gave away enough of their wealth for working class people to live comfortably, they would still be multimillionaires just like Bill. Like, yeah, maybe Bill Burr could give more money to charity or something. I mean, I don't know how much money he does give to charity, but that won't fix the problem. What will fix the problem is properly taxing billionaires. It's so stupid when people say, you have a problem with the current system, then you should give all your money to charity, even though one multimillionaire giving their money to charity would obviously not fix the problem at all. Now, I don't think this lets rich people off the hook. I do think that rich people should live by their principles, and I think it's cringe when someone like Hassan, for example, flexes his expensive cars that he's bought with the money given to him by his working class audience. But
Going
it is
after
incredibly
Hassan.
stupid when someone makes a
Going after Hassan Parker, baby.
critique of the system for you to respond by saying that they should give all their money to charity when this obviously would not fix the system.
You know, just the fucking epitome of this time right now, like how divisive we are, that like, you know, the Gulf of Mexico is now called the Gulf of America, and people get excited. Like, how the fuck does that help your wallet? It's an empty gesture, and then it's also like a racist gesture. Like, that's the white guy that's him saying fuck Mexicans without saying it.
Oh, sure.
You know, like, who has a
Kinda, yeah. I could definitely see that.
fucking problem with Mexicans? Like, what is the real problem? This is just such an ugly fucking time.
What a
True.
wuss.
Yeah, that
What a wuss.
That sucks.
What a bitch.
What a bitch. Oh, he's such a wussy bitch.
Fucking.
You are so right. Bill Burr is such a wuss. You have never been a wuss. These cat ears are extremely alpha.
Bill Burr has reached the tinfoil hat conspiracy stage of his Hollywood meltdown. This time, he's screaming into his microphone about how renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America is somehow both meaningless and a racist dog whistle. Because, you know, in Billy's world,
I mean, maybe.
nothing can ever just be stupid or performative. It has to be evil. Now, Bill starts off strong by calling the name change an empty gesture that doesn't help struggling Americans, and for a fleeting second, he's actually right. Then in record speed, he veers into schizophrenic rant mode and decides that it's not just pointless, but secretly a Klan rally in disguise. That's right. Somehow, changing the name of a body of water is actually code for white people saying, F Mexicans. You have to admire.
I mean, what's the other excuse? I mean, what else does it do? I mean, I would not doubt it. A lot of people voted for Trump because they do not like Hispanic people or other non-white people. That is a lot of the base. So
Higher the creativity. Most people see an ocean. Bill sees a hate crime.
So you think it's a schizophrenic conspiracy theory that this name change could have possibly been an FU to Mexican?
well, it doesn't really matter. This is the problem, is that like Dennis is a fucking moron. So Dennis, when he says this, he doesn't actually think that the first point that Bill Burr made was a good point. He's just saying that as like a virtue signal, and then going, but you ruined it with this. He's not actually acknowledging the original point. He's trying to dismiss the original point, but trying to seem like he's intelligent while doing it. Oh, I can agree with you. It doesn't really do anything for us, but you think it's a racist dog. Well, you could just be like, yeah, that part's stupid, but you know what? It doesn't do anything for us. It's distraction. It's a jingling keys. It's not productive. You know what I mean? He's reserving all the criticism for Bill Burr's original claim. And he has no criticism for the actual shit idea that Donald Trump's trying to implement, which is like the Gulf of Mexico, which does absolutely nothing for anybody. So
If tomorrow Lake Michigan was changed to Lake Mexico, people in Michigan would probably not be too happy about that because that body of water has cultural significance to them. In the same way, the people of Mexico are obviously not going to be happy that you came in and changed the name of a body of water that has cultural significance to them. So no, I don't think it's a schizophrenic conspiracy theory that Donald Trump could be saying F you to Mexicans by changing this name. He's been saying F you to basically every single country in the entire world for the last month with his tariff bullshit.
Now let's
yeah, I mean, they've been completely unproductive. At this point, Donald Trump has like pulled back on most of his tariffs. Pretty much, it just was a 10% flat on everybody, and then no tariffs on like electronic goods from China, and now he's not even going to go with the massive tariffs that he originally was saying that China was going to get at all. He just decided not to do that. It's like 60% now, and he's lying about trying to actually doing trade negotiations. He's losing. He's losing tremendous amount of ground. We're crumbling as a fucking society. We have a shit fucking president. Everybody who voted for him is a fucking moron because they knew what he was going to be, but they still voted for him. And this is where we're left at. So.
Let's get something straight. Who the hell was out there protesting the name Gulf of Mexico in the first place? Did I miss the Justice for Marine Geography movement? Are Mexican fishermen being oppressed by American tide patterns? Of course not. But Bill and his Hollywood activist friends need racism to exist everywhere. Otherwise, they might have to talk about real world problems.
You mean like how people can't even afford to pay for a house when they're working full time? Is that one of the real world problems you're referring to?
So, ignoring the fact that you're implying that racism isn't a real-world problem, you think that Bill Burr hasn't been talking about real-world problems? Earlier in this video, when he talked about working-class people not being able to afford to pay their bills, you don't think that that's a real-world problem? What do you think is a real-world problem? The fact that you're banned on Twitter, which you whine about in the banner at the bottom of all of your videos?
Then, in a final stroke of brilliance, Bill declares that people are broke and that this is an ugly time. Oh, you don't say. Then why are you foaming at the mouth about meaningless distractions while creating one in real time?
This guy's such a loser. It's actually so funny.
Bill,
he literally was talking about one. This guy's the fucking snake.
Whines that the Gulf of Mexico name change is a waste of energy, then immediately spends the next few minutes on his podcast treating it like the single greatest moral crisis of our time. Why are people focused on this instead of real issues? Bill, you're the one talking about it. If it's such a stupid, pointless, empty gesture, why are you dedicating a full-scale meltdown to it?
What the fuck are you even talking about? A comedian complaining for 2 seconds about something dumb that Trump did is a full-scale meltdown, yet you making 7 different videos complaining about him isn't a full...
It's funny that you're holding a comedian to such a high standard, too. But you don't hold Trump to any standard. It's fucking insane.
Scale meltdown? I can't even track this stupid logic.
This is like a guy setting his house on fire, then yelling at the fire department for wasting time putting it out.
This is like someone setting their house on fire and then yelling at the fire department for wasting time putting it out. This is like Deaf Noodles falsely accusing someone of being a pedophile, then yelling at people when they
stop it!
Criticize them for it.
Stop bullying me, dude, please. Leave that picture.
If it's such a
fucking asshole, right? Piece of shit. All right. Taking my licks, dude.
Stupid, pointless, empty gesture, why are you dedicating a full-scale meltdown to it? Maybe, just maybe, because outrage pays your bills.
Oh.
He's still doing the voice, though. It's not his real voice. It's not his real voice.
Oh, and outrage doesn't pay your bills? Well,
clearly it does not. No.
I guess technically it doesn't because your videos only get 700 views. You're complaining about Bill Burr complaining about something that doesn't matter while you've made multiple videos like Rachel Ziegler's cringeworthy meltdown, Disney's Snow White has TDS, Bill Burr defends Rachel Ziegler and woke Snow White. I guess in Deaf Noodles' mind, Trump changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico doesn't matter at all, but Snow White being woke does matter. Just a tip, Dennis, when you are criticizing someone, you need to take a second to think if those criticisms also apply to yourself or apply to Trump, the president who you apparently love now.
Bill gets to play both sides, mocking the people who care about this while still profiting from the controversy himself. He cashes in on the same culture war nonsense he pretends to be above. So congratulations, Bill. You've officially become the thing you claim to hate. Another overpaid entertainer making money off outrage while pretending to be one of the people. So in case you missed
Wow, this is just so embarrassing for Dennis.
this, folks, Bill is quite literally part of the problem. He's a millionaire cosplaying as a working class hero, screeching about fake oppression while sitting on his multi-million-dollar
A fake oppression? What are you talking about? How is it fake? What does he mean?
Netflix couch. And you know he doesn't actually care because if he did, he'd be ranting about the real reason people are broke. Biden's economic mismanagement, crushing taxes, and big government screw-ups.
Bro, not a single person who talks about Biden having a huge, mismanaging the government can ever provide any meaningful receipt. Biden's economy was good, and Trump ruined it. I'm so sorry. This is a fact. No, it's not. Did you know that there was inflation? Oh, wow. Are you, dumb as a fucking, just dog shit? You ever hear of something called COVID when, the markets, everything was shut down because, people were dying, 1 million excess death rate? Oh, wait, no, you don't believe in that either, probably. That's the problem, is your conspiracy fucking brain. We had to shut the economy down. People were dying. You probably didn't go outside and work because the people that are screaming it the loudest stayed home. I didn't. I had to work. I had to disinfect buses so people can go to fucking dialysis. But you guys, you stayed home. You didn't have to work. That's great. But in the real world, COVID was really bad. It was catastrophic. It was killing people. People were dying. And supply lines were being shut down, which means that people still needed to eat, though. So supply lines were shutting down, and there was a high demand, low supply. Things got more expensive, right? Biden had an economic package that gave people lots of money. That's going to exacerbate the problem. So you could be like, oh, well, that's the problem. He gave people money so that they didn't die during COVID, and it increased inflation. Yeah, we also came out the strongest out of any other like G7 country. So we did pretty well. And then we had a pretty stable economy. Biden got us to a stable place. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't impressive. He just did what he was supposed to do. And then Trump came in. He got another good economy. And what did he do? He fucked it up the ass. Shit tax cuts, shit cuts in general to different governmental services, horrible trade war, which is causing everybody to hate us, being weak on Russia. We are a fucking laughing stock. Shit fucking losers now. That is what we are. So stop crying about Biden. Oh, Biden did this. Shut the fuck up. It's Trump. Trump sucks. Trump's an idiot. He's a shit president. And you guys are embarrassed for voting for a literal moron. And now you're like, no, I have to double down. Just give it up. You guys lost. You guys voted for an idiot. You guys fucked up. You got manipulated. I get it. It's upsetting. Trump is a bad president. He's just a shit president. So, sorry, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, the real problem is Biden's economic mismanagement, even though Biden did one of the best jobs at getting a country out of COVID
True.
to other countries. But let's just ignore Trump's batshit insane tariffs that instantly tanked the stock market. That is definitely not economic mismanagement. I think me and Bill Burr would probably both agree with you that Biden sucks and he didn't do enough to help working class Americans because
I think he did a good job. There's only so much you're going to be able to do under a crisis. There's really very little he could do.
both me and Bill are not afraid to make fun of liberals, but you are afraid to make fun of conservatives like Trump because for some
That's true. Well, this is the problem, though, is that you're seeing mainstream conservatives like Ben Shapiro start to push back against Trump, and like the narrative is shifting, the atmosphere is shifting, people are shifting. It's no longer you can't really just like blindly like guzzle Trump's cum, and you're going to see very soon more and more people are going to be like, I'm criticizing this, I'm going to criticize this. The conservatives are feeling more comfortable. This is the vaccine. The vaccine is finally kicking in. It's finally kicking in against Donald Trump. We just need to give it time. That's it. All we got to do is give it a little more time, baby. All we have to do, and we're going to see, hopefully, more kicking back and reeling back against it. I just turned myself off. That's it, man. So
reason you've decided that the best way to save your dead career is by sucking Trump and billionaire cock. I was going to go through a couple of his other
cock
videos criticizing Bill Burr, but I think this video is already long enough. I just find all of this incredibly ironic because the right will never shut up about how the left hates comedy, but the second a comedian makes a joke that falls slightly outside of your conservative ideology, you freak the fuck out and you pick apart every word that they say and you try to act like their edgy jokes are meant to be taken completely seriously.
It's crazy how Ryan Beard's video in an hour is at 9K, which is probably how many views that this gets in a year. So that's fucked up.
It's almost like the right understands that people actually can be influenced by jokes. They just pretend like this isn't the case when right-wing comedians make jokes. I do think that comedy has the ability to spread genuinely bad ideas.
Sure, you can use it as like a way to push like that's what jokes are, a way to push like an idea in a more palatable way, sure.
And if you think
sometimes things are just jokes, but there's generally intention behind the jokes.
Think that Bill Burr,
like I doubt Bill Burr actually wanted to kill billionaires, but the idea is that billionaires are bad. That's the joke.
Is spreading genuinely bad ideas by making edgy jokes about billionaires, then you are free to hold that perspective. But personally, I am not going to get all up in arms when a comedian makes an edgy joke about billionaires because billionaires clearly do fuck over the working class.
True, and if one died, they shouldn't, but I wouldn't care. So.
At the end of the day, I don't even know how much of what
cry, lie, deny
Dennis is saying here is actually genuine. Maybe he really is being true to his real opinions, or maybe this is all just a disingenuous grift to make money, or maybe it's somewhere in the middle. I don't know. But all I do know is that if he doesn't stop making all these corny 1950s ass jokes, then I don't think his channel will be growing anytime soon. Watching Deaf Noodles try to revive his career is like bringing a defibrillator to a cemetery. Watching Deaf Noodles make jokes is like watching a chicken try to play Beethoven. I wonder if the reason he calls himself Deaf Noodles is because his noodle has so much trouble listening.
There you go. Incredible. Well, you gotta love that. You gotta love that Deaf Noodles is bringing back that 1930s comedy because we're about to bring back the comedy because we're about to bring back the 1930s economy. So it's gonna be incredible. That's all, folks. Wow. Beautifully done, Ryan. Thank you.